We made one unexpected change on this build, and that was ICCF stem walls. I feel a little silly it took us this long to come to the conclusion. But before I get down this rabbit hole, let's rewind to how we transitioned from digging in the dirt to building a house.
Really, this is now construction, I guess. But it's good. I think like Gerald and I, this is the first time we're pumping mud ourselves, so that'll be fun. I was telling Gerald yesterday, because we were walking around just kind of doing double checks, and it's like, to me, there's always this assurance that you're fine, and then as soon as like the first truck pulls up, you start questioning everything. Like, this is kind of the first thing that we're doing that's irreversible on site, right? Like dirt, you can always move back. We've only been digging and taking stuff out. So now we're kind of this is the first thing we're putting in. So it's a bit of a milestone. Well, it's not major because, again, it's underground, but it's nice to have something going in rather than coming out. Waiting on the truck, putzing. Yeah. All right, where's our nail, Gerald?
So far, all of these phases of digging in the dirt and prepping to build up into a building have been not the most assemblable or intuitive. They're art in a way. These are things that the trades who do them all the time have learned specific ways of doing them over and over that are more in their heads and in the intuition of how you do the process than they are really a repeatable, documented process. And now when we move into building up in the building, starting with ICCF blocks on our stem walls, we're really focused on how we make a building more assemblable. How do you build the way you can think about building and design in the same way that you build, and keep getting more and more precision each step as you go farther down.
I like the idea of building a culture of getting maybe homeowners or other people involved in learning. And it's that learning aspect that really was driving, like, hey, if every piece a human can pick it up and place it, that means we can help mentor or guide people down this path of learning. I think a lot of the way construction is traditionally done is not conducive to learning about the building, but rather just getting an end result.
Slab edge insulation is a critical piece in a well-built, high-performance building in basically any climate. The typical way of doing this is forming a stem wall and then finding ways to get enough EPS insulation tacked on and then protect that EPS and then wrap all this thing in something like Pango to control moisture and radon and things around this structure. On this build, we've made a critical switch to ICCF blocks. On first glance, they present a lot of challenges, but as we dug further into them, doing this work hands-on and up close, we realized they were an amazing solution for us. So they simplify a lot of steps. Instead of having to form a stem wall and then tack on EPS insulation, the insulation is already built in. We get actually more insulation than we used to get. We're using less concrete. We're getting a stronger overall build. The EPS in this case is also actually 100% recycled. Finally, we have the potential to modify these blocks in a really interesting way that sets up the integration of future steps. This is a really big challenge in stem walls in general. The typical approaches, they're all leave something to be desired. We have so many challenges happening here and so many ways for things to go wrong. It's the highest rate of failure area in most houses. And the way we're using ICCFs, we're making a number of modifications to them to eliminate basically all of our past concerns. The transitions from one step to the next become much easier. You're stepping in the direction you want to go. You're integrating finishes, you're integrating performance layers, things like Pango that protect the inhabitants inside the building and the framed and insulated sections of the building from moisture and termites and the people from radon. Areas where there generally is really finicky work. We've got some really cool things coming up in some future videos and some next steps that we've already prepped for in these steps to make achieving the end results so much easier. So stay tuned in future videos. We're going to cover that. We'll get back to uncovering some of these pieces we buried in here. You probably want to see them. Hopefully you'll want to see them because they went well and they're a really interesting solution. There's also a chance it won't go exactly as we planned, and maybe you'll want to watch that also. So stay tuned. We'll see you next time. Until then, stay curious.